Renowned psychiatrist Dr. Thomas Burchard had been missing for 3 days when his body was found in the trunk of an abandoned BMW in the desert outside of Las Vegas. Judy Earp, his girlfriend of 17 years, was back at their home in California and sensed the doctor was in trouble.
I told him repeatedly that these are not, the kind of people you want to be associating with.
Judy was worried about this woman, 25-year-old Playboy and Maxim model Kelsey Turner. Judy says Kelsey was extorting money from Dr. Burchard.
About $300,000 that I know about, and possibly more.
Burchard had a history of helping others and engaging with young, attractive girls he met online, like Kelsey. That's according to his friend, who did not want to be identified when he was interviewed by KSBW.
These women were just like an escape for him to have somewhere to go. He told me he met Kelsey on the website and met up with her, and they talked, and they went and had dinner a few times.
Dr. Burchard's friend says the psychiatrist started spending time and money on Kelsey, even renting this condo in Salinas, California for Kelsey and her mother to live along with Kelsey's child. Even after Dr. Burchard stopped paying the rent and Kelsey moved to Vegas, the two did keep in contact. And shortly before the murder, Kelsey reached out to the doctor, according to his friend.
He says, seems that Kelsey's having some trouble with her boyfriend out there in Vegas. He's hitting her, he's abusing her, and she has no money, nowhere to go. And I feel partly responsible for this.
Court documents show that Kelsey Turner was, in fact, reported as the victim in a domestic violence case less than a month before the doctor's murder. Dr. Burchard went to Vegas to see Kelsey, calling his girlfriend Judy only after he had arrived, saying he was spending the weekend and would be back on Monday.
I warned him on Saturday when he was there that, maybe you ought not wait till Monday to come home. Maybe you ought to just come home on the next flight.
After missing his flight and not responding to calls and texts, Judy called Las Vegas police. Dr. Burchard's body was found near Lake Mead, about 25 miles outside Vegas.
The actual incident occurred at a residence in the Las Vegas Valley, and then the body was found out by the lake.
This is the Las Vegas home where Kelsey and her boyfriend John Kennison were living and where investigators believe Dr. Burchard was murdered. Kelsey's roommate, Diana Pena, told a grand jury that Kennison attacked Dr. Burchard with a baseball bat and that after the initial attack, Kelsey insisted that her boyfriend knock him out. Pena also testified that the attack left Kennison covered in blood. According to arrest warrants, police recovered a bag from the Rio Hotel. It's where prosecutors say Turner, Kennison, and Pena fled to after the murder. Inside that bag, investigators found sheets of paper ripped from Dr. Burchard's notebook that contained his banking information and passwords.
Additional information has come to light.
Kelsey Turner was arrested in California 3 weeks after police recovered Burchard's body. Her extradition was delayed after it was determined that she was pregnant. She has since given birth to a girl while in custody. Her boyfriend, John Kennison, was arrested a few weeks later in Las Vegas. Both are facing murder charges. Kelsey's roommate, Diana Pena, pleaded guilty to accessory to murder and is expected to testify at their trials.
This is going to be some trial. Joining me to talk about it from Las Vegas, Nevada, criminal defense attorney, litigation attorney, Craig Drummond. Great to see you, Craig.
Good to see you again, Vinny.
Okay, let's start here first with Judy Earp. This is the doctor's girlfriend, longtime girlfriend, and her intuition was right. And I'm wondering, she's got the intuition that something was going down, something wrong. How important of a witness will she be at this trial?
Well, if the point to bring her in would be to establish motive, which, as you know, is not always required, but it's very important for a jury. Most jurors want to know why, did this person, either Mr. Kennison or Ms. Turner, why would they be involved in a murder? They want to see that motive, and that is what she may be able to establish. And, from listening to the introduction here and also reading the pleadings, it looks like the motive may be money. And so, yes, that would be a very important witness to that extent.
And it's also the other, this trial, I'm sure they're going to have some forensics because it was a horrific crime scene, plus the body left in the trunk of a car in the desert. But it seems a lot of this also will be the story. Like, how does this psychiatrist connect with this Playboy Maxim model? And it seems it may have been on some sort of a website. How does a jury in Clark County, Nevada, react to a story like that? Is that a story that they've heard before, you think?
This is Vegas. So, yes, I think unfortunately, it's not that uncommon that there may be a girlfriend, it may be somebody with a romantic relationship. For sure, it's going to be up to the finder of fact and the jury to make those determinations. But to have that with an older man and a younger, very attractive lady, these things are unfortunately, well, either way, they're not that uncommon in Las Vegas.
So let's talk more about the money. And this is what I think the defense would argue is, why would she kill him? She could get money from him. I mean, she gives a call, all of a sudden he's in Vegas. She needed a place to live with her mom. He got her a place to live with her mom, up to $300,000. I could see them saying that he's worth more to her alive than dead.
I completely see where you're going, and I think that's a viable defense. It's the alternative to a motive. They had an anti-motive. They had no desire to do anything harmful to this person because that would take away the stream of money. And so certainly I think that's going to be one of the avenues, at least as it relates to Ms. Turner, that the defense would be pursuing and seeing if they can back that up. But yes, that is sometimes a very, very strong defense, especially in front of a jury, because they use their common sense, and that's something they can understand.
So I understand Kelsey Turner and John Kennison, right? Boyfriend, girlfriend, she got pregnant, had his child. I get that. Diana Pena, the third wheel in all of this, that part just isn't as clear to me what her connection is, what her role is. But at the trial, she seems to be the star witness for prosecutors.
And she does. And I'm basing anything off of Ms. Pena and what we talked about last time I was on your show related to Ms. Pena. I'm basing this just off of the pleadings. And it appears the defense, at least in some of the pleadings, are trying to blame her, who was a roommate. There appears to be some cell phone activity related to her. There appears to be some allegations that she was missing from her work as a bartender during some important time periods. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see how she plays out, what arguments could be made by the defense related to her. And you're right, it looks like they're setting her up as, the prosecutors are setting her up as their star witness, and whether she fills those shoes, I guess that's to be determined.
All right, what a case, and one of those things you can say only in Vegas, right? Craig Drummond, great to have you on the program.
Thanks, Vinny.
All right, we're still tracking this one. We've got a status check to reset the trial. That is on June 4th, so we'll see what happens June 4th if they come up with a final trial date. But this thing was ripe to go last year before the COVID shutdown, so I would expect that this case will go at some point this year.